As this powerful nor'easter bears down on Connecticut, the snowfall intensity is picking up right on cue. We are now seeing snowfall rates between 1 and 2 inches per hour. But this is what we're really keeping our attention on as we head through the next few moments or so. It's the rotation that we're seeing in this storm. You're taking a look here at our velocity, and what this is showing us is wind that's moving away from the radar. That's what you're seeing in the red, and wind that is moving toward the radar. This is indicating rotation within this storm.
We're live here in Norwich along the Yantic River, which is under a flood warning, and you can see why. And believe it or not, this is an improvement to what we saw overnight. We crested here just after midnight at 12.5 feet. That is a 1.5 feet above major flood stage.
Florence is still a major Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds at 130 miles per hour, but Florence is expected to strengthen as we head through the next 24 to 36 hours. So let's talk about the timing and the track, because there have been significant changes. Right now, the National Hurricane Center bringing Florence right up to the coast of the Carolinas by pre-dawn on Friday. But from there, that forward speed will slow significantly, stalling off the coast of the Carolinas. We might not see landfall until early on Saturday. Now, with this stalling motion, we are talking about a prolonged period of storm surge. The longer it sits offshore, the longer that wall of water will be pushed into the Carolinas. The majority of our models, they are a miss, but just a few, just enough to pique our interest, are ahead. Here it is. This is our Ensemble Forecast. This is the same model, the European model. We're in about 51 times, showing you the spread of models. And why this is of interest is because earlier this morning when we got our overnight models, there was a much wider spread. All of these little L's you see, all of the storm centers have come much closer together and moved to the north a little bit. And for us, that means a potential hit. Well, this is really a storm where it depends where you are in terms of what you'll see. We are talking about snow mixing with sleet and some of that rain, and we want to show you exactly why, because it's not just the temperature that you see at the surface that you see on our temperature maps. It's what's going on throughout the entire atmospheric profile. We are talking about that really oppressive heat and humidity as all of those students and teachers head back to school. So let's get right to it here in your first alert forecast, starting off with those current temperatures, because we are already in the 70s. As you're stepping out, as you're getting the kids ready for the bus stop this morning, leave the jacket at home.
And you can see this rain, it is not letting up anytime soon. This is why we have a flash flood warning in effect. Now, we want to show you some of those numbers across the rest of the state. We are at 4¼ inches of rain in Reading, closing in on 1.5 for New Haven. Really much of eastern Connecticut approaching, if not surpassing, that 1.5 inch mark. We got up to 2 inches in Woodstock, over 2 inches in Goshen. We are talking about some really impressive rainfall totals, and Ryan has been showing you the radar. This is not letting up anytime soon.
You see that quick spike in the river levels, and then when it breaks, a rapid decrease. We saw 3 on the Farmington River in the past 24 hours. These massive chunks of ice that are made up in layers and layers of thin ice. Check this out. You can see just how many layers make up these huge slabs of ice, and they are all jammed together. You can see some of the ones that appear dirtier. That's actually sediment from the bed of the Connecticut River. So let's talk numbers. Let's talk about the impact that we can expect to see over the next couple of days, because this is really a triple threat storm. We have the rainfall, the surge, and the wind. But we decided to give you a bird's eye view here at Ski Sundown. We are actually on the chairlift. We have Snow Monster at the base of the mountain. You see the kids behind me here loving this day. We're seeing some of the strongest wind right now along the shoreline, gusting between 35 and 40 miles per hour here in Old Lyme. But it is not just the wind. Check this out. This is actually the parking lot here at White Sand Beach. We're already seeing that rain and wind pick up later tonight. Those hurricane force winds will arrive. Florence expected to make landfall overnight and early on Friday morning, and that is when we're going to shift our focus to the high tide plus the storm surge. Tide coming in a little after 11 o'clock for much of the North Carolina coast. You add in the storm surge, what we call the storm tide, and we could see multiple cycles of that. That storm surge at its peak expected to be 9 to 13 feet above high tide,
giving you an incredible vantage point of these raging rapids at what's typically a calm waterfall. And believe it or not, this river level is actually an improvement to what we saw earlier this morning. A number of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes associated with this cell. Again, this is our newest severe thunderstorm warning on the map. You see the high reflectivity just along 84 could possibly be producing hail, as well as that torrential rain from Peter Road down to Main Street South.
One sunny day and 3 generations of skiers. The Stitch family has been skiing at sundown for nearly 40 years.
We have 2 glazed donuts sandwiched between bacon, lettuce, mayo, and tomato. We've seen a lot of people order it, but we haven't heard the consensus yet, It's actually pretty good. You get the savory, you get the sweet. I like it, and so do a lot of other people. I'm here on the red carpet where we're gearing up for our special airing on NBC Connecticut tonight at 7 o'clock. Ryan Hanrahan's in the theater right now where he'll be co-hosting with Rebecca Stewart. I'll be here on the red carpet, and the theme tonight is Think Fast, using the acronym FAST to spot the signs of stroke. Hey there, guys. We have thunder snow in Farmington. I'm tracking the latest conditions with First Alert 1. We just saw some lightning, so there's the thunder. I'll have the latest conditions coming up in just a bit.
And not so pretty today, Kaitlyn. At least we're not dealing with the snow just yet.
You're talking to the wrong girl, Shannon. I love the snow. I cannot wait. But they are facing the issue of when you do still have leaves on the trees and you get that snow, it does cause a lot of power outages, a lot of downed tree branches as well. Now, closer to home, we're facing some rain as we head through the next couple of hours. But the good news is Nate is continuing to pull away from New England. We'll zoom in slightly closer here, and you can see we're already starting to see the rain ending in portions of western Connecticut, still dealing with a few pockets of heavier rain down into New London County and up along 395. Elsewhere, just dealing with very light, very scattered rain and very foggy conditions as we head through the evening tonight. Taking a live look outside now in New Haven, you see the flag waving in the wind there. The breeze will stick with us as we head through the evening tonight. Gusts right now coming in over 30 miles per hour in Bridgeport, gusting up to 29 in New Haven. And it's not just along the shoreline. Interior Connecticut also dealing with the strong breeze as well. Winds gusting at 26 in Windsor Locks, 25 over into Willimantic. So add on top the fog, we are looking at some limited visibility as we head through the evening tonight, down to 1 mile in Chester, 3 miles in Hartford. Not quite as thick over into Willimantic where we're still seeing that heavier rain, but along the shoreline averaging at about 5 miles of visibility. So that will be a concern as we head through the evening. Add on top of that the muggy conditions. It is just not a great night to be outside. Right now temperatures are in the low 70s, so still well above where we should be for this time of the year at 73 degrees in Windsor Locks, 71 in Tolland, 74 down into Willimantic. Along the shoreline, temperatures in the low 70s, but check out the dew points. Also in the low 70s. This is what feels really uncomfortable to most people. Dew point at 71 in Windsor Locks, 72 in Chester along the shoreline. Dew points right now in the mid to upper 60s. But as we head through the overnight, the dew point will drop. That's the good news. Temperatures will still be very warm in the 60s across much of the state. The hill towns dropping into the upper 50s. But with that dropping dew point, tomorrow will feel more comfortable. But check out our high temperatures. We are in the 80s from Windsor Locks down into Hartford and Middletown, 79 in Norwich, 78 tomorrow for Groton. So temperatures trending well above what we typically expect for this time in October. But with the lower dew point, it's not going to feel nearly as sticky as it did today. And then we do see that more seasonable temperatures work their way back into the forecast as we head through the end of the week. Wednesday is mostly dry, a few scattered showers throughout the evening, really the overnight into Thursday. Temperatures much cooler in the low 70s. And then check out our temperatures on Thursday. We're down to 64 for our inland high temperatures, slightly warmer on Friday, and in no time we are back in the mid to upper 70s for next weekend. Now looking dry, but we do have a few scattered showers we'll be watching on Monday. Along the shoreline, temperatures stay in the upper 70s for Tuesday, about 10 degrees cooler on Wednesday before we see temperatures drop back down into the 60s. So we saw that quick stretch of fall weather last week, but we are getting it back by the time we get to Thursday.
And kind of mixed reviews right now. Some people are saying we're enjoying the warmer temperatures. Others saying, why does it feel like fall?
Yeah, we've got something for everyone in the day.
All right, Kaitlyn, thanks for that.
Good afternoon. I'm First Alert meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath bringing you this forecast update for a tornado watch that was issued just after 1 o'clock this afternoon, now in effect for Litchfield County through 8 o'clock this evening. This ahead of strong storms that we first alerted you to days ago that will move in as we head throughout the afternoon and evening.
Let's bring in WVIT meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath for an update. Kaitlyn.
Well, since Florence did make landfall earlier this morning, it has weakened just a bit. Still a Category 1 storm, but those sustained winds down to 80 miles per hour. And you can see on our radar imagery, we've kind of lost that really well-defined eye wall. It's become clouded over with rain. Throughout the morning, we have not seen much movement over the past few hours. Since landfall, Florence is crawling to the south and west at just 3 miles per hour, but still bringing those heavy convective bands, those hurricane-force winds to much of North Carolina and and it is approaching South Carolina as we head through the day today, and it will likely encounter a bit more warm water as we head through the next few hours, so it should maintain its Category 1 strength as we head throughout the day today, and then we'll see some gradual weakening as it pushes into South Carolina throughout the day tomorrow, downgrading it to a tropical storm, which is good news in terms of wind speed, but we are still talking about those tropical downpours as we head throughout the weekend. But right now, we do want to give you a look at where it's raining the heaviest. Once again, New London County coming in as the jackpot, where we're seeing those really locally heavy downpours moving in off of the Long Island Sound. So we'll give you a closer look right now. All of this is moving along 395 and Route 9 through Essex, Old Saybrook, East Lyme, starting to see that heavier rain as well, giving you a closer look, a street level look at where we're seeing those shades of red and orange. That's where that rain is estimating to be coming down at about 1.5 inches per hour. Now, unlike yesterday when we had the flash flood warning, this is moving a bit quicker. Hurricane Florence continuing to gain strength. Right now, those sustained winds up to 90 miles per hour. The central pressure did drop with the 11 p.m. update, now down to 974 millibars, and we are expecting rapid intensification as we head through the next 12 to 24 hours, expecting Florence to become a major Category 3 storm by tomorrow, and by Tuesday, a Category 4 as it approaches the Carolinas.
I tried to get him as tall as me, but you know, we got to do a little work here and there. So as we head through the overnight, instead of our temperatures falling, they're actually getting warmer. For this evening, much of Connecticut in the mid to low 50s, but notice that warm air to our south and west. That's going to lift north as we head through the overnight, and our temperatures, they will actually climb. And that is the issue with these storms. They are not moving very quickly. So we keep in mind the flood threat as we head through the evening tonight. But we don't stop there. Once we get past the warm front on Sunday, we sweep a cold front through on Monday. That's going to bring us our greater chance for rain that could be more widespread and locally heavy as we head through Monday night. Coming in at 3.5 inches here in Torrington, which is a good amount of snow, but I wanted more. So I went on a tour of Litchfield County in search for the highest snowfall totals.